Hey guys, so today I'm filming my May wrap up and my June TBR. Firstly, I'm just going to quickly apologise if I sound snuffly in this video and if my eyes are a little bit red. I have just been sneezing like crazy, so I'm a little bit stuffed up. Starting with what I read this month, I read 6 books, though I only have 5 here, I know. One of them was my friend's that I was lending from her and I had to give that back. So the first book I finished this month was Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. This was my first time reading the series and I really did like it. I'm probably not going to reread it just because Harry can be extremely frustrating sometimes. No, that's not the reason. Every character can be frustrating. It's probably just because I'm not into reading from a guy's perspective usually, just because I have trouble getting into a guy's perspective, and also because I like books with a bit of romance in it, and I find it difficult when the guy is viewing a girl in that way, because I'm just like, I don't view girls that way. I like guys. I'm pretty sure I gave that book either a 4 or a 5 star out of 5. I really did enjoy it, and yeah. It's so much different from the movies. Like, you probably all know that, but it's so much different. Like, Draco didn't bloody get hugged by Voldemort. So the next book I read after finishing Harry Potter was On the Fence by Cassie West, or Casey West. Me and my friend Briar just filmed a review video on this. Originally I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars, but then I went to a 2.5. I'd probably more give it a 3 over a 2. The book was a very easy read and I flew through it. She read it in 2 hours. There was just some flaws in the book. The premises of this book is that she was raised by her dad and her 3 older brothers and a neighbour that was like an honorary brother to her. Her and this neighbour have fence chats a lot in the middle of the night, and they don't talk about it when they're with anybody else or any time except for the fence. So Charlie has to get a job in the book, and she finds one at a unique clothing store with a unique owner. Charlie is like a major tomboy, so she's thrown out of her element when she has to work in like a very girly place. I really did enjoy reading this book. It just had some flaws for me, so that's why it got only a 2.5. The next book I read is Ash by Melinda Lowe. This is a Cinderella retelling. It is about a girl named Ash whose mother and father obviously have passed away, and before her father passed away he remarried with a woman that has 2 daughters, so the obvious plot about Cinderella. In the book there are fairies and magic and all that, and she basically fell in love with a fairy and the idea of like fairy tales and all that when she was younger, so she basically thought that was what it was going to be. But then she meets the king's huntress, Kaisa, or Kaisa, I'm not sure how to pronounce her name, and basically her views are starting to change. I gave this book a 3 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed the premise of the story, but I think it's the writer's style that bothered me, because she didn't seem very in tune with her characters, I'd say, because like I didn't get a great feel on Ash or really any of them, and I just felt like the emotions were a little bit stunted and not shown through as they could have been. Next book I read is another book by Cassie West, Pivot Point. I gave this book a 4 out of 5 stars. It was just, I don't know why I didn't give it a 5 out of 5. Probably, I have no excuse. I should probably go change that to a 5 out of 5, because this book was just amazing. It is a girl named Addie who lives in this little town, and everyone in the town has like a power. Hers is being able to hers is called Divergent, and she can see into the future, but only like if she has a choice, so 2 choices. So her parents are getting divorced and she has to choose whether to stay with her mum where she lives or whether to go with her dad into the norm world. Essentially the entire book is showing the 2 different her 2 different lives. So she's in a search, as she likes to call them. I'm not going to give anything else away on this because I don't want to like spoil anything just in case, but it's a really entertaining book, and like you like trying to decide what future she should pick in the end. I'm not going to say, she does pick it, and good choice. A book that you will probably all know is Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. This was huge in the booktube community. I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars. Really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed the writing. The character, I keep forgetting the name, Mare, just frustrated me at times. So that's why it didn't get a 5. The premise of this book is that they live in a world divided by blood, red and silver. The Reds are basically commoners. They don't have any powers at all, and the Silvers have powers, like these amazing powers, just being able to control the earth and levitate things. I think it was levitate things, and control water and just other things. But Mare defies that all, and there is a bit of a shock in the story, or a shock in their world. I highly suggest reading this book as well as Pivot Point, and I can't wait until the sequel comes out for this. The final book I read this month is Grimm by a selection of authors, and it was edited by Christine Johnson. So this is another fairy tale This is a book of short stories with fairy tale retellings by multiple authors. I gave this a 3 out of 5 just because some of the stories I liked, some of the stories I didn't. Some of them were creepy as all hell, and yeah. It was a very good reflection of the Grimm fairy tales, though, how some of them ended and how some of them just went by, and yeah. Though I couldn't essentially tell what all the stories were, the fairy tales were, so maybe I need to read up on all the actual Grimm stories that there were. So onto my June TBR. I am currently reading The 100 by Cass Morgan. I'm really enjoying it so far. Like, I loved the TV series. I still haven't finished season 2 just because I found out what happens at the end and I'm like a little bit afraid. I'm not a big violence person, though you probably wouldn't get that seeing as Teen Wolf is my favourite show, but yes. The 100 is a future story. It's about humanity being devastated by a nuclear war, I think. Yeah, and they went up into space and they've been living there for however many years, and so now they want to see if Earth is habitable again. So they send down 100 of their delinquent juveniles that are in prison at the moment and who are below 18 years old. This book is set in 4 perspectives. There's Clark, Bellamy, Glass, and Wells. I am really enjoying this. Like, it's so much different to the TV show. Like, what did you do, TV show? I'm also planning on reading book 2 and book 3 of that series, Day 21 and Homecoming. I'm really excited for these, and I'm really scared too. I'm so excited for this next book. It is Split Second by Cassie West, the author of Pivot Point. This is the sequel to Pivot Point, and I'm seriously so excited. And it's in hardcover, so yay. I'm so excited. I can't really explain what it's about because I don't want to spoil anything for Pivot Point. If I happen to finish all of those, then I am planning to read Fractured by Danny Atkins. This is a story. Let me just read the blurb because I can't be bothered trying to think of one. The night of the accident changed everything. Now, 5 years on, Rachel's life is crumbling. She lives alone in a tiny flat, working in a dead-end job, desperate with guilt over her best friend's death. She would give anything to turn back the clock, but life doesn't work like that, does it? The night of the accident was a lucky escape. Now, years on, Rachel's life is perfect. She has a wonderful fiancé, loving friends and family around her, and the career she always wanted. But why can't Rachel shake the memory of a different life? I am so excited for this, like, kind of like Pivot Point, the premises sounds like. So, I keep saying premises in this story. I apologise. I'm extremely excited for this. I'm so excited, guys. I bought another packet of the popcorn that I was talking about in my May favourites. So just quickly wanted to show you what it actually was so that you weren't left pondering, like, what's this fabulous popcorn she's talking about? It's the Cobb's Natural Popcorn, lightly salted, slightly sweet, gluten-free. There's nothing to do with gluten-free unless you are actually gluten intolerant. and absolutely nothing artificial. This is delicious, so get your hands on this if you can. That's all for my video today, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. I hope maybe you found some new books that you might want to read. If there are any books that you want me to try, definitely suggest them to me. I do have more books that I've read, so I might have already read it, but just let me know. And I hope I enjoy the books that I am reading this month. Sorry about being a speed talker. It doesn't help me either because I lose breath really quickly because I don't breathe. I'm not breathing right now and that's not good. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please leave any comments down in the comment section. I keep forgetting what it's called. How do I keep forgetting what it's called? Give this video a thumbs up and please subscribe. Bye!